Hello students, in this video we will see the chapter number 2, that is acid, base and salt. Let's see what the topic we cover in this chapter. First of all, we cover what is the acid, what is the base, their physical properties and chemical properties. What is the pH? Here the H is small but you consider as a capital, and its biological importance and the indicators. So these 5 main topic first we see in the part 1, and later on we will study about the different kinds of pH scale and how we identify that either it is acid or base. As we know that every chemical substance has some nature. If we are talking about the human being nature, then also we consider as a kind nature, smart nature, like this. So same as the chemical substance also contains some nature. Either it is acidic or either it is a basic in nature. Here you can see that early it was thought that substance that are sour, the substance which are bitter, according to the taste we identified, and according to taste we consider either that the chemical substance are acid or base, or with the help of the litmus paper. In the early it was thought that those substances that are sour and which is turned the blue litmus paper into the red, and those substances which are corrosive in nature, then we consider is as a acid. But if any substance which is in bitter in nature, then we consider as a bitter base. Same like for bitter it is converted red litmus paper into blue litmus paper. So these are the early thinking that if these both the things happen, then we consider as acid and base. But these are the not reliable properties. Some of the substance which are natures which contains the sour nature, even though it is in basic in nature. So this classification, it is a reliable classification. So then after the so many scientists who discovered and who work on this acid base like Lowry, Arrhenius, Lounsbury. So these are all the scientists. They are work on the acid base and neutral nature and give their own theory. All are the concept are present, but in this chapter we will study only the one concept, that is of Arrhenius concept, and using that properties we consider either that is of acidic or basic properties in nature by the H plus and the OH minus ion which is released in aqueous solution. Here you can see the lots of fruits are given. These all the fruits, it also contains some kinds of acid. For example, lemon. The lemon is also containing citric acid, and which is also important for the skin. So this kind of lots of fruits are there which are used for the nutrition purpose, as well as it contains the acidic nature. As we discussed that the substance which are the bitter or which is turned the red litmus paper into the choppy touch, then we consider as a base. But later this concept was replaced by the Arrhenius concept. Now let's see what is the Arrhenius concept. If we are talking about the Arrhenius concept, if we are add some of the any substance into the water, and that substance dissolved. After that it release the hydrogen ion, then we consider as a acid. So the Arrhenius say that if any substance which gives the hydrogen ion, then we consider as a acid. Here you can see the hydrochloric acid we add into the water. After the dissolving this HCl, it's formed the H plus ion, so we consider as a acid. Same like the other kinds of HCl acid is present, like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, phosphoric acid, carbonic acid. These all are acid which is acidic nature. When we dissolve into the water, they release the hydrogen ion. It creates the H plus ion when it is dissolved in water. Here in the sum of the book, instead of the hydrogen ion, written as a hydronium ion. Both are the correct. Now let's see what is how the hydronium ion is formed. If we are adding into the HCl into the water, then it's formed the H plus and Cl minus. After the adding this into the water, the water that is of H2O, and this release H plus, it's again react with the H2O. Then it is formed the H3O plus, and this is known as the hydronium ion. So if you are write down the Arrhenius concept, so you can write down also that the instead of the hydrogen ion, hydronium ion, because it's but the better that is of hydronium ion, because in the latest book the hydronium ion are mentioned. So write down the hydronium ion, and if you are write down the hydrogen ion, then it is also okay, because whenever the H plus ion is formed, then and then the hydronium ion is formed. Now let's see the Arrhenius concept regarding the bases. According to its base are those that dissolve in the water, they give the hydroxide ion, means it release the OH minus ion, that called the hydroxide ion. If we are adding some substance in the water and if it is released the OH minus, then we consider it as a basic in nature. Let's see the NaOH. Here you can see it contains the OH. If we are adding into the NaOH, then it is release the Na plus and the OH minus. Here you can see it is formed the OH minus ion, means the hydroxide ion, so we consider as a base. Let's see the example. The calcium hydroxide, that is of CaOH twice. If we are adding it into the water, then it is formed the Ca plus 2 and the OH minus. So here you can see the OH minus is released, so we consider it as a basic. As we see the magnesium hydroxide, that is MgOH twice, so the Mg plus 2 and the OH minus. Due to the OH minus is released, that's why we consider as a base. Now let's see the classified of the acid and the bases. First one, that is of classification of the acid depending upon the sources, means from which they are obtaining. According to that, we have classified this acid into the two types, organic acids and inorganic acid. What are the all the fruits, you can say, the which is obtained from the plants and the animals, then we consider as a organic acid. Organic means it is comes from the plants and animals, then we consider as the organic, means the acid which is present in the fruits, so we consider as an organic acid. Whereas the inorganic acid, which is obtained from the minerals which is present in the earth crust, if we have a sulfuric acid, nitric acid, carbonic acid, these all are made up by the minerals, so they all are considered as an inorganic acid that are obtained from the plants and the animal, as we discussed. Let's see the example in tomato. Which acid is found? Which is the oxalic acid. In apple, malic acid, and in lemon, citric acid. It is an important question answer. And in imli, or you can say that is a turmeric acid. So these all are the acid that comes from the plant's substance. Now let's see the inorganic substance. Those are which is obtained from the minerals, then we consider as an inorganic acid. For example, nitric acid means HNO3, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, carbonic acid, H2CO3. If we have sulfurous acid, then H2SO3. So these all are the example of the inorganic acid. Nitrous acid, then HNO2. These all are the inorganic substance. The second classification of the acid and base according to the strength. We are talking about the human strength. Then we consider as a weak and the strong. Same like the strength. Then it is either it is a strong acid or a strong base, or a weak acid or weak base. It is the amount of the hydrogen ion which is given when acid is dissolved in the water, the amount of the hydrogen ion that we get. According to that, we consider as a strong acid and the weak acid. Now first we see the strong acid. Suppose if we have any acid, take one example. Suppose the HX acid is there. If we are adding this HX into the water, then it is completely converted into the H plus and X minus. It is completely dissociated into the H plus and X minus. In the water you can not see the HX form of the substance. So if any acid which is completely dissociated, then we consider that kind of acid as a strong acid. If these HX, if you are adding into the water, the sum of the H plus you can get, and the sum of the X minus, and also you get the HX, means it is not completely dissociated into the H plus or X minus, or you can say the partial dissociation, वो completely नहीं टूटा है, then we consider as a weak acid. It's not convert all the HX into the H plus and the X minus, partially dissociated, that's we are considered as a weak acid. So whatever the organic acid, though all are weak acids, and all the minerals means which is obtained from the earth crust, they all are the strong acid because they are completely dissociated. Let's see the strong acid. It is the acid that completely dissociated into the hydrogen ion. As I give the example, that is HX plus H2O. Then it is formed the H3O plus and X minus. Means it's completely dissociated, and we see the only one direction arrow, because we cannot get the HX. So we consider as a strong acid. For example, the hydraulic acid, sulfuric acid, etc. And the weak acid means here you can see the H plus, X minus as well as HX you also get. If you want to write down into the hydronium ion, then the XH plus H2O, these are the reversible process, H3O plus 3 plus X minus. You also get the HX both. The acid that partially dissociated into the hydrogen ion, then we consider as a weak acid. All the organic acid. And the exceptional case, that is of carbonic acid, that also we consider as a weak acid because the carbonic acid is not completely dissociated. The next classification is among to the bases of the water contained in the acid. How many amount of the water inside the solution, according to that we consider as a dilute acid or concentrated acid. Let's see the dilute acid. It is the acid that has more amount of the water then we consider as a dilute acid, whereas the concentrated acid means that has a less amount of water in it, and it is completely contain the more amount of the salt or more amount of the pure form, so we consider as the concentrated HCl. For example, if you are taking the HCl, you can make the dilute. How? By the adding the water. But while the diluting of the acid, one precaution that we have to take, and this question is asked lots of times, so let's see which kind of question is asked, that how one can dilute the concentrate acid. Suppose you have any concentrate acid, if you want to do the dilute in it, then how can you do? As we see that if you want to dilute, then just nothing, just add the water. But in the case of the acid, it is not simple as we talk, because if we are adding the water into the acid, both are react with each other and it's give the exothermic reaction, and due to the exothermic reaction, the accidental cause are occur, because it generate the lots of heat, and sometimes the burning is also occur. So instead of the adding the water into the acid, we are adding the acid into the water, and that is also by drop. So whatever the heat is generated inside the solution, it will be react with the water and cool down, or you can say the heat can be absorbed. So the liberation of the heat that easily absorbed by the water, so the violent reaction nahi hoga. And it is a most important answer, that one can dilute concentrate acid by the adding a concentrated acid slowly in the water with a continuous stirring, so the heat separate out. By doing so, the heat is released is completely less and constantly absorbed by the water, so it prevents the reaction from becoming violent. Now we will do the classification on the basis of the solubility in the water. Now what is the base? If we are adding the base into the water, if it is a form the OH minus ion, then we consider as a base, as we already see. If we are any base that we are adding into the water and it is a soluble into the water, then we called as a alkalis. Not all the base that is dissolved in the water, but those the bases which are soluble in water, then we consider as a alkalis water. And all bases are not alkalis, but all the alkalis are the bases, because alkalis is a completely soluble in the water, but not all the base are completely soluble in the water. Now let's do the classification on the basis of the strength. According to that, it is a strong base or the weak base. Same like the acid, that if we have a base like MOH, and if it is completely dissociated into the M plus or OH minus, then we consider as a strong base. If we are taking any metal hydroxide, suppose a calcium hydroxide, then it is if formed the Ca plus 2 and OH minus, it's a completely dissociated. You cannot find any undissociated CaOH twice. Then we consider this kind of base as a strong. But if you are talking about the calcium hydroxide, in the real it comes under to a weak base, because it is not completely dissociated into the Ca plus and OH minus. So we consider it as a calcium hydroxide. Let's see the MaOH. MaOH means the metal hydroxide. Then it is completely dissociated into the M plus and the OH minus. Then we consider as a strong base. For example, the hydroxide of all the reactive metal like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. Now the weak base means it is a partially dissociated, cannot be completely dissociated. So we can consider as a weak base. and it's a reversible process. Now let's see the properties of the acid and the base. Let's see first the physical properties of the acid. In that, they are all the sour in nature. They turns the blue litmus paper into the red. They are corrosive and the nature means aggressive. If the acid is fall into our skin, then it's absorb all the water and it's burn our skin. So you can say that it is a corrosive in nature. So these all are the physical properties of the solid. We are talking about the physical properties of the bases. Then it is a bitter in nature. They turns the red litmus paper into the blue. They are soapy in the nature. Now how can you decided that the acid is turns which litmus paper to which litmus paper? So for that easy key is that एक भूल बेलाभ. एक भूल means A means the acid, भू यानी कि भूरो, and ला यानी कि लाल. Means the acid turns blue litmus paper to red, while the basic एक भूल बेलाभ. बे यानी कि basis, ला यानी कि red लाल, and भूरू भ यानी कि भूरू यानी कि the base that is converted a red litmus paper into the blue litmus paper, by which you can easily remember these things. Now let's see the chemical properties of the acid. First one, that is action with the indicators. As we see that if we use the litmus paper, then it is a acid that turns into the blue litmus paper. When we are obtain this litmus, it is in a purple in color, but while we are using in the lab, it is a red and the blue color. If we are using the red, then the acid does not give the any kind of color in the onto the red litmus paper. But while if we are drop into the blue litmus paper in acid, then it is converted into the red litmus paper. So the acid that is turns blue litmus paper to the red. Here you can see the figure. In that the metal which is react with the acid, this we will discuss in the next one. That is of second properties, that is reaction with the metals. They react means the acid which is react and which is formed when we are react with the metal with the acid, then it is displaced to each other, not each other, but the metal that displays the hydrogen from the acid. So it's formed the metal salt and the hydrogen gas is the release. That we will easily understand by the activity. Here we can take the zinc granules. In that we add the sulfuric acid, means the H2SO4. Both are react. Here the zinc is the metal and the H2SO4 that is HX, and the zinc that is a more reactive metal, so it displays the hydrogen from the acid. So it's formed the ZnSO4 plus the H2. How we will taste of this? Here you can see in the soapy solution the gas is collected over the soapy solution. If we are take the candle near the burning candle near to this gas, then it is do the popping sound, and which is give us confirmation that the whatever the gas is released, that is of hydrogen gas. You are taking any metal, for example the Mg means the magnesium which is react with the hydrochloric acid, then it is from the magnesium chloride and the hydrogen gas will release. If you are going to do the reaction with the any metal, you get the salt of the metal and the hydrogen gas is released. Let's take the sodium. Sodium that is react with the nitric acid, means the HNO3, then it is give the NaNO3 plus H2, hydrogen gas is released. But If you are taking the concentrated HNO3, means the nitric acid, then you get the, instead of hydrogen you get the H2O, water, because it's a strong hydrodizing agent. Now the third one, that is action with metal carbonate and the metal bicarbonate. Metal carbonate means MCO3 carbonate, and it is react with the acid, then it's give the MX, means the metal, salt and the water and the carbon dioxide. Let's take one example. The calcium carbonate, that is react with the hydrogen chloride. If we are react with each other, then form the CaCl2, means the calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. How can we check the presence of the carbon dioxide? If it is a turn the light water into the turns into the milky color, then or hazy, then we consider that the presence of the carbon dioxide is occurred. If you are react with the metal hydrogen carbonate or metal bicarbonate, react with the acid, then also we get the same product like a metal salt, water and the carbon dioxide. Now the fourth one, that is reaction with the base. If the acid react with the base to form a salt and the water, acid means suppose H plus and the base release, that is OH minus. When you are react with the acid and the base, then you get the salt and the water. Let's take one example. If you have a HCl, means the hydrochloric acid, it is react with the sodium hydroxide. Then from the HCl it release the H plus, and from NaOH it's release the OH minus. So it's from the NaCl and the HCl. As we know that the NaCl, that is of salt, and the water is released. And this process is known as a neutralization process, because while the reaction between the acid and the base, whatever the salt is produced, that is a neutral in nature. Now next one, that is all the acid act as the electrolytes in the aqueous solution, means they are able to pass the electricity. Why? Because it dissociated the ion. For example HCl, then it is dissociated into the H plus and the Cl minus, which is able to pass the electric current on it. So we consider as a electrolyte. Now let's see the chemical properties of the base. The action with the indicators. Here the base is reacted with the litmus paper, then it turns the red litmus paper to the blue litmus paper. Matlab means you are taking the base sample, and if you taste with the litmus paper, then the lead litmus paper is turns into the blue color. Now the second one, that is reaction with the metal. If we are react with the metal, then it's form the oxysalt and the hydrogen gas is released. Let's take an example. We are taking one base, that is NaOH, sodium hydroxide, which is react with the aluminium. Then we get the NaAlO2, and along with it we get the hydrogen ion. And how we can know that the hydrogen gas is released? That already we see in the activity. If hydrogen gas is generated, then it is start burning with the pop-up sound. Third property is that is of action with the ammonium salt. Let's take one example. Ammonium salt as a Na4Cl, means the ammonium chloride, and the strong base, that is of NaOH, sodium hydroxide. And in this reaction the double displacement process is occur. We get the ammonium hydroxide, that is of NH4OH and the NaCl. The reaction with the acid. The acid which is react with the acid, then it is formed the salt and the water that we see in the acid properties of the acid. Neutralization processes occur. Both are the form the water. Now we have another properties, that is all the bases act as electrolytes in the aqueous solution. Same like acid. If you are taking the NaOH, then it is dissociated into the Na plus and the OH minus, and due to this ion are going to conduct the electric current. So we can say it is act as an electrolyte. Now the next topic, that is of salt. As we already see in the neutralization process, that if the acid which is react with the base, then it's form the salt and the water. For example, HCl which is react with the NaOH, then it is give, as we know that acid gives the H and the base give the OH, so it's form the H2O and the remaining attach with each other and form the NaCl, and it is also known as the double decomposition reaction. And as we know that the double composition reaction, either it is a precipitation reaction or either it is a neutralization reaction. But here process is a neutralization process because it's from the neutral salt, and whatever the salt which are formed, it is a result of the neutralization reaction. Here you can see in the figure that the salt which is NaCl, these are the edible salt, but not all the salt are the edibles, only NaCl can be edible. Now the nature of the salt can be neutral, but it is also can be acidic salt, basic salt or neutral salt as well. As we already talk about the neutral salt, that is of NaCl. Neutral salt means it is not either acidic or a basic. Now let's see how the acidic salt and the basic salt form and what are the difference between them. First we see the acidic salt, which is formed when the strong acid which is react with the weak base. Whatever the strong is there, according to that the nature of the salt will decided. For example, the acid which is a strong in nature, so it form the acidic salt, whereas the base which is weak in nature, then whatever we salt obtain, that is acidic salt in nature. For example, here you can see the strong acid which is react with the weak base, then it's form the acidic salt and the water is released. Same like a basic salt means when the weak acid which is react with the strong base, then whatever we salt get, that is also a nature of the basic salt, because here the strong nature of the base. That's why that is effect we can see in the salt as well. So we get the basic salt. Now the neutral salt is a form when the weak or the strong acid and the base react with each other. They cancel each other's effect and can form a neutral salt. If the acid and the base both are the strong, then also we get the neutral, or you can say the neutral salt. If we are adding the weak acid with the react with the weak acid with the weak base, then even also we get the neutralized salt. Now let's see how can we come to know that the strength of the acid and the base, which are the very strong acid or which are the very strong base. Suppose we have HCl and the H2SO4, and we know the concentration of the both, but we have to know that which are the strong. Then how can we identify this, the which acid are the strong? Same like for the base as well, but in that condition we are use the pH. Now let's see what is the pH. Here the capital H is that. pH means it is a logarithm of a reciprocal of hydrogen ion concentration. pH means a logarithm of the 1 upon H plus ion. This is the formula of the pH, and which is have a pH scale. Suppose we are taking this hydrogen into upward direction, then we can write down that the pH minus log concentration of the H plus. Means if you want to know the pH, then take the logarithm of the hydrogen ion. pH means it is a one kind of scale by which we can come to know that the substance which is acid or the base, and it contains the reading between the 0 to 14, and in the middle that is contained the 7, which is a neutral in nature. If any substance which is get the pH between the 0 to 7, then we consider as acid, but if it is a 7 to 14, then it is comes under to the basic in nature, but it get the 7, then it is a neutral in nature. So by which by the taking the pH we can consider that the either substance is acidic or base. Suppose we have a 2 acid, the one acid that have a 2 pH and one that is have a 4 pH. So which are the strong acid? In the case of the acid, the which acid contains the low range, means if it is a 2 and another one is a contain the 4, then the 2 one which is a strong acid, and whatever the acid which contains the 4 reading, then it is a strong which is a weak as compared to A1. And in the base it is a vice versa, means if one base that contains the contains the 2 base, one base that is contain the 14 pH and the another base that is contain the 12 pH, then which are the strong base? In this base, which base contains the more value of the pH, then we consider as a strong base. Means the 14, the which bases contain the 14 pH, then we consider as a strong base. Here you can see in the figure the concentration of the H plus ion. If we are going from the 7 to 0, it is increase. So the acidic nature, if we are going to the 7 to 0, it is a increase. Whereas in the case of the basic, if we are going to 7 to 14, then it is also increase, means the increasing of the OH minus ion. And this scale is known as a pH scale. The 7 that is of neutral, from 0 to 7 it's considered as acid, and the 7 to 14 it is a basic nature. If we are going to 7 to 0, the increasing of the acidic nature, and if we are going to the 7 to 14, it's increase the basic nature. Now let's see the range. According to range, how can we decide that it is a acid or base? If we have a range between the 0 to 2, then we consider it as a strong acid. If we get the range 2 to 4, then we consider as a moderative acid, and the more than 4 it is a weak acid, and at the 7, as we know, it is a neutral one. If we are talking about the 7 to 10, then it is a weak base, and if we are talking about the 10 to 12, then it is a moderated basic, and more than 12 it is a strongly basic in nature.